Today I want us to look at something else, and this is the interpersonal communication. When we are talking about the interpersonal communication, uh, we say that interpersonal communication is a good foundation, basically for the interpersonal communication. While interpersonal communication is about talking to yourself, the interpersonal communication is about talking to someone else. And as we continue enjoying this holiday, the Good Friday today, there's a question that I would want to pose to you. Who have you called today just to say hi? Or have you talked to someone today? Basically, what happened with the interpersonal communication is that there must be something that we are talking to someone else. I was looking at it from the angle of God's creation to human beings. And you realize that the only creature that God created that can be able to communicate or use words to communicate is only human beings. If you look at other creatures like the cows, the goats, maybe the dogs, they have their own ways of communicating to each other. But basically, there is no other creature in the world that was created by God that can be able to speak. I'll use words to communicate or to pass on some message to someone else. And basically, there is so many people who fail in the interpersonal communication. Basically, there are people who do not know how to talk. Some of them it's because of their nature, some of them it's because of their culture, and some of them is because of their own issues that they have molded themselves into a way that they are not able to speak, or whenever they speak they are not able to communicate maybe the intended message, or maybe because of their nature they are not able to use the right grammar in order for them to be able to communicate. And so Africa can never become a good continent when we fail in the the interpersonal communication. Basically, if we are to build a good empire in the world, if you are going to build systems that are going to yield good results for us, we must be able to focus so much on the interpersonal communication. And the fact that human beings are created by God to be social beings, and that is why you see, like in the social platform like the Facebook, they have millions and millions of people who are subscribers to such platforms, because basically human beings are born or they are created in a way that they are social beings. They always want to communicate something, and the urge to communicate something sometimes may be taken in the long way, or sometimes we may be communicating in the wrong way instead of communicating the right way. And so it is basically very essential for us to know the exactly way to speak. And that is why in this session about the interpersonal communication, we will be looking on very specific things on how we need to communicate to other people. I'm going to lie all these things that I'm going to talk about the interpersonal communication on the fact that we need to communicate. There is no relationship that can prevail without a good communication. There's no maybe system that can be built without a good communication. Communication becomes very essential for all of us to be able to pass the message that we intend. The nature of the communication is that it is transactional, meaning everything that I say to you or everything that you say to me, there must be something that you need from me, or there must be something that you need me to listen to. And that is why we say that the communication is transactional, that we use words in order for us to communicate what we want in life, and we also maybe use words to pass a message of something that we want it to be passed to someone else. So basically, what are the very essentials that we need to understand when it comes to interpersonal communication, or what are some of the guidelines that we need to use as a guide to us in order for whenever we start a communication somewhere with someone, then we will be able to use the correct words or the correct grammar in order for us to be able to communicate to someone else. So this is exactly what we'll be doing in the next session, trying to ask ourselves now that we need to talk to someone else, and now that we understand that communication is very essential to us in order for us to be able to transact anything to someone else. Now, what are the basics that we need to understand when it comes to interpersonal communication? In the interpersonal communication, basically when you're talking to yourself, you do not necessarily need so much. You do not need to understand so much about the communication, because whenever you go to that mirror, or you do not necessarily need to go to the mirror. You can also have some solitude, have a silent place, and you start thinking around and thinking about who you are, where you want to go, the kind of confidence that you need, the kind of beliefs that you need. Try to maybe to mix up all that with what you want in life. But when it comes to interpersonal communication, there's always someone else who is involved in this communication. And those people that are involved in this communication, they have exactly what they need. They have their own needs. And the person who is initiating this communication, he also have what he needs. Now, where can we be able now to meet? Now, what you need to tell me because of what you need from me, and then what I need from you because I'm also in need. Because the nature of communication is that it is transactional. So that is exactly what we'll be looking at in the next episode about interpersonal communication. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching Ken-Based Media TV. This is Ken-Based Media. We really love you, and we really appreciate for the support that you're going on to give us, we as Ken-Based Media TV. See you in the second session as we talk about interpersonal communication. The guideline that I'm going to give you is a guideline that you will always benefit from whenever you are talking to someone else. Thank you very much. God bless you. Good night. Continue enjoying your Easter.